In this video, we're going to be talking about you're not manifesting them, you're manifesting you, and what that truly means. So stay tuned.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to the Manifestation Sisters community. My name's Leah.
My name's Tia.
Here on this channel, we are helping you to master your mind and manifest all of your desires. Before we jump into the video, we do want to let you know that me and Tia have our Next Level You one-on-one coaching, and we also have our digital products. So if you want to find out more about that, the link is in the description box down below, and let's jump into the video.
We know everyone is just reflecting us. Everyone is just reflecting you. As within, so without. So often than not, we think we're trying to manifest a version of our specific person, a version of whoever it is that we want. But what it ultimately comes down to is we're not manifesting a version of them. We're not trying to do a tool or technique. We're not trying to affirm for behaviors, because fundamentally they are just reflecting us. Fundamentally, they cannot give you what it is that you want unless you are giving that to yourself. And I think this has been a big misconception in the manifestation space, and that's why we're doing this video of affirm this, so then he texts you, affirm that, so then he calls you, do this tool or technique so you get them in 24 hours. Yes, you'll get that reflection back, because in that process you're being the version of you that does those things. But the reason why it's not sustainable, and so often than not, that's when we get the clients in that is like, I've followed this, I've done this tool, I've done this techniques, I even took that course and it didn't work. It's because you haven't changed in the process. You haven't changed your core beliefs. You haven't changed how you think, feel dominantly on a consistent basis. You haven't changed who you are claiming yourself to be on a more dominant and moment-to-moment basis.
Yeah, who you're conceptualizing yourself to be, the self-concept piece. It's how you're viewing yourself and how you're viewing yourself in relation to this area, in relation to your love life. So, like Tia said, we are out here trying to change this person, change their behavior, when all we need to do is change our conceptions of ourselves, change the stories and the assumptions that we're assigning what's going on in our reality, change the self. As Neville Goddard says, and it's my favourite quote, no one should change but self. You value yourself and others will confirm that change. Meaning there is no one else you need to change outside of you. You just need to change how you're seeing you, how you're viewing yourself, and the assumptions and the stories you're holding about what's going on in your reality. So when it comes to you're not changing them, you're changing you, it's because they are you. They are you pushed out, which means they're just reflecting you. They were revealing you back to yourself. They're being a messenger of what you're thinking about yourself, of the assumptions you're holding about yourself, of the beliefs you hold about yourself. So when you change the narratives and the stories and the assumptions that you're holding in relation to what you think this person should be doing, or in relation to your love life, then you start to get those reflections back, because you get who you're being. So when you come from a space of, I am this now, I am the version of me who is loved, I am the version of me who is wanted, I am the version of me that people stay around for, I am the version of me that can trust people, I am the operant power of my reality. You're standing firm in that identity of who I am, your I amness, as we mentioned in other videos, and then you get those reflections back. People start to show up confirming that change within you. They're just mirroring you, they're reflecting you.
Exactly. And if we think of this logically, right, when we go to a mirror, you put the lipstick on your lips and you get that reflection back in the 3D. When you are trying to affirm and change people's behaviors and get them to show up differently, when you're trying to manifest a version of them, it's like you physically going over to the mirror, and instead of rubbing the lipstick off your lips to get that reflection back, you're trying to rub it off the mirror. There's no one to change but self in this process. So everything you're wanting from them, give it to yourself. Become the version of you that thinks those things, conceptualizes those things, and feels them things internally first, and it will get pushed out. I cannot tell you just how many times that we've had clients in that come from this premise of doing all these things and not recognizing that the shift takes place in who you are being. Who you're claiming to be internally with inner conviction is the reflections that you get back from your 3D. Even recently, I had a client that was going through a breakup with his girlfriend. Essentially, the physical manifestation of how his girlfriend was showing, how she was showing up, was in response to the conceptions that he held about himself. went through his self-concept, changed all the conceptions, went to the core. So he shifted his beingness, who he was claiming to be, and she showed up differently. Now they're essentially back together, and not even just in that angle, other people in his life have started showing up differently. He even heard from his father, who he hasn't heard from in years, just because now he is claiming to be the version of himself. He's no longer claiming that identity which he was once living from, of maybe being abandoned, not being prioritized, and he shifted that into the version of himself where the people he loves stays in his life, he is chosen, he is prioritized, and his main dominant focus isn't no longer trying to do things in the 3D to get his girlfriend to stay, but rather going within. Like Neville says, close the doors, go within. It's up to you. Everything you're wanting, turn inward and build and become that version of yourself more dominantly.
Yeah, so it's not coming from a place of trying to get someone else, trying to get something outside of you. It's more from a place of who you're being and becoming that version of you. And how do you become that version of you? You show up every single day doing the things that you would normally be doing as that version of you, thinking those things, saying the things to yourself that you need to tell yourself, playing the new stories and the narratives, living your life, doing the things that you would normally be doing if you already had that thing. So we're out here thinking how we get the things that we want is about trying to get it. It's really not. It's about who you're being. It's always about who you're being and who you're identifying with and the stories and the narratives you're playing. So when we say go within, that's what we mean. We mean change the stories, change the assumptions, step into that true identity of I am this, I have this, people show up for me like this is what I experience, this is who I'm being, and the lens in which you see your reality will start to change. The perception of how you're conceptualizing people's behaviors starts to change because you've changed, you're different, but you don't need to wait for something to change externally for you to change. We're not waiting to change. It's about just showing up every single day, being the change, and that's what creates the change.
Exactly. You put that lipstick on, you'll get the reflection. You start claiming to be the version of you that is adored, is cherished, is loved, you'll get that reflection from that person. They're just the mirrors, guys. With that being said, we hope this video helps you shift from the mindset of doing into being. You're not manifesting them, you're manifesting yourself. Who is the version of you? What conceptions would you hold if this thing was already done? Because it already is. It's your refusal to believe it is the only reason you do not see it. It's not separate. It's all you mirroring back you to yourself. So that being said, we want to thank you guys for your likes. We want to thank you for your comments. We are loving how much of an engaging community that we are creating. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.